Hey guys, so today we want to check out the Egghead or the Vegapunk. I call it just Egg, but I think the real name is Vegapunk, yeah. And yeah, we want to check the deck out a little. I think it's also kind of cool deck. I quite enjoy it. There are some different types of builds you can play. Here is let's see, the one and only build which won in the east of the One Piece community, which is like a little different than the one I'm playing. It's like more about bigger characters, going a little bit more further into the game, and also playing the Raigo. And for us, it's more like a pushy build, like going more into life and attacking more faster, and yeah, quite keeping quite a fast pace. And let's see, I have some replays for us. I think is like 7. Let's see if we can actually watch all of them. Kind of make it a little more faster, and also the sad thing is I forgot also, or at least I was playing it before I figured out how to make a full screen. So this ones are probably the last games with the top and bottom. So all of the next games are without, I promise. So we are going against red, yellow, Sabo, which is kind of cool. Also kind of pushy character. We taking, did we mulligan? No. Okay, but we can choose first, which is kind of nice. We always want to go first. We can just use one down to play out a 6 or 5 cost character, getting a search or something like we're doing here now, which is kind of nice. Getting our blocker. Yeah, kind of cool. Strong first turn. Not so many characters can do that. He's getting the ace, which is also really strong for Sabo. We already have the Lilith on field. Now we're playing Pythagoras. 7 into life and pass. Sabo always want to take some lives, so he would take the first lives kind of gladly, because for his ace he needs to give it rush. He needs only 2 life, so it gains the rush. Oh, okay, he getting the banish from Nami. Yeah, we are losing 1 life, which is kind of sad, but I don't know, like losing 2. Yeah, actually, in this situation, I'm not sure if we should have just countered out. I mean, losing 1 life is also not that bad, especially at the beginning. He don't have so much rush characters. Maybe next round he can play. He is at 4. Maybe he can play next round the Sabo, the Ace. Give it rush if we attack and he's losing a life, and then he can gains the rush and attack us. So he maybe getting like 2 times 7 cost attack. So maybe we're prepared for this, but I'm not so sure about countering out or not, which was the better idea. Okay, he's fighting hard not to lose another life for just 5k. And we can also attack with the Pythagoras, which is kind of nice. We're playing out the Edison for drawing 2 and trashing 2. Okay, we're having a blocker on field. I'm not sure if we should have played out the blocker in live. Maybe using a blocker for later, but we also didn't have much alternatives. Kind of sad that we didn't have the Luffy, for example, which is a really strong card for a later game, or also some of the other Vegapunk cards, like another Pythagoras, for example, or a Lilith for drawing another card, which have been also kind of strong. So let's see, what is he doing? Okay, he's 6 into 5. No, we countered it probably out. Yep. Don't give him too much. Now he cannot play the ace because he only has he at least have 3 lives. Yeah, he has 3 lives, so he cannot counter out of it. Oh, we're kinda not sure if we should counter it out. Maybe blocker and then a 2k? Probably the right choice. We need our characters to go into life. Yeah. So we could go more aggressive into the next turn. He still has 3 lives, which is kind of unlucky for us. Maybe using the Nami. 5k into life, he probably give us, or he gives us a little Luffy. 5k into life. We don't attack with, we don't attack the Nami because, yeah, he probably needs too much down to attack, and he probably don't have them for next turn. We taking the Ace and probably play the Nami in life, maybe. Yeah, he only took 1 life, which is kinda sad. Now he has to take another one. Okay. Oh, and he can KO our blocker, our Shaka, which is really sad. Because now we are kinda unprotected. This is like a bad situation, especially when he go into life. We can use the trigger. I'm kinda confused why we didn't KO the the Ace. This was a massive mistake from my side. I'm not so sure why I didn't KO it. Is it a 6 cost? No, it's a 5 cost, yeah. This was a massive mistake from my side. But I wanted to show you this game because you can see quite well in this situation how fast the game can change for Vegapunk. Like, you need to be really careful. That's why I also wanted to start with this game, because you can see quite well what are the problems of Vegapunk. If you don't get the kind of better cards at the beginning, you have a low hand and a low hand amount, yeah, a low amount of cards in hand, and you kind of vulnerable. Like, attacks can go really easily through. He had like 3 attacks with 7 or 8, and we cannot counter or block or anything. We don't have enough 2Ks usually if we don't work with blocker. And of course our last life could have been a blocker Shaka, but it's so unlikely, especially if we already had one. Yeah, this is kind of like an unlucky game for us. So always keep this in mind if you're playing with Vegapunk, that it can go really fast in the opposite direction, especially if you're playing aggressive. Okay, we keep this because we have kind of like a good so yeah, some good cards in hand. This is the Luffy Amin. It's like a really strong card for the first round. Playing it down, we can go into life, we can kind of KO card and draw a card. Has like a lot of benefits. And now in this situation, it's really nice that we have the stage. The stage is a really cool card. You don't want to see it always, especially in late game, but in the early game when you can just play now 1 card and don't know what to do with the other Dawn, of course you can give it Luffy and attack in life, but he will probably take the first life anyways. So you can play the stage, and if you have a Shaka, for example, like we have, you can always attack into life and then later put it as active again. Like, the stage allows you in the end turn to put one of your characters active again, which is really nice. Okay, so now we use the searcher, we attack into life, he's giving us a 2k, we can put it active so he cannot attack into our Luffy again. Or not again, but he cannot attack in our Luffy, and yeah. We will take the first life, always take the first life if you're going the aggressive build. Because it's like usually a Vegapunk card which you can play out. And Atlas is kind of like a strong card. Because it cannot be KO'd if your enemy, as your like opponent has more cards in life. But be sure or take care of it that it has to be like more. It cannot be even, which a lot of cards have also even in the text line. But for Atlas, it's really like it has to be less. So now 2k, 3 7Ks into life. He took like 3 life in 1 round, which is like a lot. If we check this out. No, only 2 lives, sorry. Okay, and now we can play 1 as active. We maybe should have played the Luffy active, because it's kind of nice that he cannot then KO it. Maybe it would have been a better idea, but we're thinking about countering out of it. I'm not sure if we will really do it. Yeah, we are doing it because you only have 1 life. So if we have like 6 characters, which going into life is so easy to take the last life. He has a blocker now. Nami is kind of like a weak blocker, I would say, because only 2 life at 2k damage. We can just push it away for 1 Don, and now, yeah, going into life, and he probably cannot do much about it. You don't even have 1 Don open for Gum Gum Giant, and we're taking like his whole hand. Now we are kind of unsure if we should really go so aggressive, and yeah, we're doing it. And we are winning. This was kind of like a lucky situation, because he could have had some 2Ks as well, but I was kind of seeing that he countered out so much, he used like so many characters. We were kind of like in a good situation, but at least I wanted to have 1 Don open, because you saw in the last game, like you can play some rush cards and game is over. So I wanted to make sure that we at least have our Vegapunk counter in hand, so play a little bit safe at least. Yeah, to just make sure that we are not getting KO'd in the next round, even if he had like a 2k counter. Or, okay, no, if we would have attacked with 2 Don, he needed to have two cards, like a 2k and a 1k. But yeah, anyways, this was kind of lucky for us. He had all of the big cards and not the small, more faster cards. Okay. So now we have another game against Blue Red Marco. Our starting hand is not the best, we mulligan, and the other one is also not so good. We deploy the Shaka. A blocker at the beginning is always good. It's like a 6k. We can go into life. It's not worse than the Luffy. Not strongly worse than the Luffy. Maybe same as Atlas, or how do you say, like the Pythagoras. But I think, like, if I have to think about the best card for the first, is definitely Luffy, Atlas, or the Lilith. For Lilith for searching, Atlas because it cannot be KO'd, and Luffy because he can KO also something and draw a card. So maybe best one is Atlas at the first turn and then Luffy at the second turn, something like this. And Lilith would be also a good alternative. Yeah, now we play the stage, which is really strong in the combination because we have the Shaka, so we can always set it up, even if we attack with it. So we can even go a little bit more pushy and have the blocker for the next turn, so he cannot KO or attack into our 5 cost. Or even 6 cost. Okay, now he's giving minus to our Luffy. I'm kind of scared that he's KOing it. But he is not. And we take the life. We're playing another Shaka, which is kind of nice. I don't know what is the 1k actually. Let's go a little bit bad. For 1 down, this character can also take the opponent's active characters. Okay, so we need to be a little bit careful of this card. But we have 2 blockers. Also, most of our cards are 6k. So yeah, I think we're thinking about playing the Nami, but we only have 5 dons, so I really like the fact that you can just cheat one Vegapunk character out for 1 don, which we usually should do. So we can now use the search. What will we take? The Bonnie? Maybe the Atlas? It's also kind of strong character. But Bonnie is also kind of nice. We can play it out and then draw for next turn. But I think we are in a kind of position where we are a little ahead. Like he only has 5 cards in hand. Like a small character. Which we can also KO easy, draw 1 card, and he still only have 2 lives. And we can set up one of our blockers. We have 4 characters on play. Most of them 6k and 1 5k. So I think, yeah, it's really not looking good for our Marco player. He's usually a little bit more on the late game side, playing big characters, overwhelm us. So if you can get a little more pushy at the beginning, it is kind of easy for us to put him in a disadvantage. And this is our only win con, like we need to finish him more early. And he's playing a 5 cost, so we can KO it with Nami again. Or no, with Luffy not, because he needs to be 4. That's why I was checking. I was checking if he is a 5 cost. If I need to, if I can KO a 5 cost, or if it needs to be a 4 cost. And yeah, it actually has to be a 4 cost. Sadly. Okay, he's taking a life, so this is for me yeah, like it shows me that he probably don't have much counter power. If he's taking for 7, we're trying it again for 7. If he's taking another life, he's taking another life. So now we are doing the old, and he gives up. I wanted to say we're taking the old 7 and then the rest trick. Always, if you have several characters and you're not maybe playing against yellow, where they maybe have an how do you call it, beige, Capone beige. If they don't have this character in deck, then you probably can also go with 2 characters in, if you don't have a life. But oh no, anyways, like here we are attacking directly into life. You don't have any cards, so yeah, then there is not even a Capone beige. What I'm talking about. So yeah, it's like just I'm trying to split always a little between 7 or 9 between the cards I have, and then it's best to always attack for 7. So he's giving us 3 cards, and then the last one maybe a big one. You can also start with a big one. I don't know, however you like it, but usually, like at the beginning, I'm always like in this situation, I put everything into 1 card and then attacking with the other one. If he can counter out, then with just 5. So I think it's better to split up between both of them. Yeah, but anyways, you can see the hand from him. He has all of the big characters. Maybe the Marco would have been also good because it's a blocker. I don't know why he played this one, but maybe he was scared that the 4 cost would have been KO'd by Luffy. And yeah, that's probably what I would have also have done after the first attack if he didn't block it. Or playing the Nami from the beginning, but yeah. This was kind of unlucky for him that he had a kind of like a late game approach and we were really strong in the early game. Then we have another one. And this one is against Blue Black Rebecca. Also kind of like a strong character. We're taking the hand. I think we didn't mulligan, right? Yeah, we didn't mulligan. We can go first, which is kind of nice. Did she put us first? Oh yeah, she chose to go second. Yeah, black blue. Rebecca always likes to go second. At least from what I know, I'm really not an expert with this card. Now we are sheeting out the Bonnie, giving her 1 Don, and then we can draw 2 cards and discard 1, which is really strong at the beginning. Usually later it gets a little bit more weaker because she's only a 4k in the next round, so everybody can attack quite easy into it. But especially for the beginning, really strong play, and also you can get your hand size a little bigger, especially for Vegapunk, where you always sheeting out cards so fast that you are losing them also kind of fast, I would guess, or I would say at least. He's playing out the Kairos. Strong card for Rebecca is like the go-to card, I would say, the GOAT. Always on play, always on the field. Like it's really hard to KO this card. So probably will stick there for a long time. So now our idea what to do with the Nami we cannot use. Because this guy cannot be KO'd on the first time because you can just tap Rebecca and like the leader, and then maybe later also the stage if they have it. So yeah, probably a character which sticks like forever. Okay, we can discard the Bonnie. We don't need the Bonnie. We already have 1 on field. Our hand size is quite big. We also have the bigger ones like the Lin Lin and the Ace. Playing the blocker Shaka because we didn't have any other good alternative to play at this moment, I would say. Edison could have been also a card, but discarding 2 is always kind of like you don't go plus with this card, so the blocker is kind of nice. And then pass, and we got hit by the pudding, so we are losing, how much do we have to? Yeah, 1 card, okay. Which is not that bad. We're getting some 2Ks, we're getting the Frankie. We don't really have a good next turn card to play. I mean, the S-Snake is kind of nice. but yeah, actually not the best. The Limlin is kind of cool that we're drawing it. Okay, discard a 2k and let's see what he's doing. If he's trashing 2 cards or trashing a life. He's trashing 2 cards from hand, 2 Kairos. Okay, his hand was stacked with this guy and also no counter power by this, so was probably kind of nice for him. Yeah, going into live, using the S-Snake. Oh, here we are doing a lot. Using the S-Snake to block the Kairos from attacking next turn. She can freeze any, I think, 6 or lower character. And but without Luffy. So this is kind of nice. And then we are losing the Luffy to KO the pudding, so she can also not use the pudding attack. So we are kind of safe with our board. And drawing a card from it. So we are getting our Nami back. Yeah, so now Rebecca's kind of bad situation. Oh, she's playing a Boa. Not so common to play this card in Rebecca, I think. Now she's giving us our S-Snake. I mean, this is just a mini form of the real Boa, so she's blocking our Lin with 7k, which is actually not bad. So she's getting a hit less next turn. And yeah, taking down our... Actually, what did she do with the other Dons? She has 2? Ah, she's using it to draw a card, okay. Also not bad to maybe potentially get another 2k counter. Okay, now we're trying to go a little bit more aggressive, giving our Bonnie a life a Dawn. Attacking with S-Snake into life with 7. He's blocking it with 2 cards. Another pudding. He definitely have the puddings, which is not so strong against our deck. Then now with the Bonnie for 2k. And drawing two cards, discarding 1, which is kind of nice that we got the Pythagoras and the Atlas. The Atlas is not using us so much at the moment, but the Pythagoras is nice. Because if he's KO'd, we can play a 4 cost or less from our life. Potentially a Bonnie or a Lilith. And yeah, then he's giving up because he probably cannot keep pace with our strengths. But I'm not sure. Like maybe he gave up a little too fast with the Boa. He could kill maybe our S-Snake. And then with Kairos our Bonnie. But we also had the blocker, which would have been kind of strong against the Kairos. He has some KO power. Maybe also not too strong. Also, he cannot play the blocker then. Yeah, he's in a tough situation. Like, he don't have the correct cards. The Gecko Moria would be really cool. Also, he didn't have a Rebecca in this round. So, yeah, he was missing 1 or 2 of his key cards and couldn't keep up with our pace. Also, he must have been kind of scared that we had like still a lot of cards in our hand. Maybe potentially some counters and also the life cards. Still 2. Yeah, not in a strong position, so he gave up. Maybe he could have played another turn, but yeah, it's kind of like a little unlucky for him. So now we have another game against Nico Robin. And yeah, let's see what kind of build she's playing. Excuse me. Usually she's playing the like usually the Nico Robins I'm playing against are with the high characters, like with Katakuri and Yamato, and maybe also Ace. But she could also play the more aggressive build, like with lower characters, a little bit like our build, like with a lot of triggers. And also we gave this hand back. It's not a bad hand, but also not a really strong hand. We were looking for the 4 cost, the 6, no, is it a 6 cost? Yeah, I think a 6 cost Luffy, which would have been kind of nice. And yeah, the Atlas really strong first turn. She cannot be KO'd. So a guaranteed first attack and then maybe also a good second attack. Now we're using the Searcher for taking the Shaka maybe, or another Atlas. I don't know. What would I take? Maybe the Luffy. All kind of good hits, especially for the first turn. I'm thinking quite long about it, and I'm taking the Shaka. Also good always to have the blocker. Also it's a 6k, so you cannot do anything wrong with this. I should have used the Don for attacking. That was kind of a mistake from my side with Atlas. Now he's playing a Bonnie by himself. Maybe using... No, he's just going into life. Throwing up a... Or like... Yeah, like throw up one trigger card from life. This is Nico Robin's main effect. Then getting ramping up a Don. Like if he's like ditching one card from hand, and it was kind of useless, I feel like, because he knows we had a Shaka, so yeah, I don't know, like maybe just for ramping, but otherwise was not the best attack. He should have gave the Don from Bonnie to Nico Robin. Even he was hoping for drawing cards, but for sure like in every situation I would block this with Shaka. Because she also has banish, like I'm not even benefit from the attacking into life, so yeah, no way. No way that I take this life. So let's see. Okay, I'm thinking hard about going with my blocker, but yeah, I'm going all in. Taking some more lives, no triggers. This is always a sad situation for a yellow player, because you really want to have the triggers. And that's also a disadvantage of the big build from Nico Robin, because she don't have so much triggers. Okay, Nami can KO something, carrying my blocker. Good that I attacked with the blocker, otherwise it would have been a useless rest, or like a useless wait for him. Capone Beige is in the deck, so could be also for us in the future. We are blocking out, countering out the attack, because this one, yeah, she can play the Mother Robin and getting plus 3000 attacking our life with 8. And then is the problem, like, she also has banish, so our card will be gone, so we cannot let this go through. Countering out with 2Ks, and now she's trying with Bonnie. We're taking the life, even if he can now draw 2 and discard 1. Oh, but I think he didn't got it through, right? Let me see. Yeah, because we KO'd Bonnie, seems like he couldn't draw 2, discard 1, which is kind of unlucky for him. Okay, wait a second. Like here. Okay, we are going into life even more. Let's see, he takes it, okay. But he gets the trigger, really nice. The Frankie trigger is really good. Playing a card and drawing a card, always nice. Pythagoras. Oh, he's taking it. Okay. He's playing it as a trigger, the Kikonojo, which is kind of nice, but in this situation a little sad. He should have countered out, but probably don't have. And so we're playing the ace, going into life, and he has the event, so this was like barely fighting against getting KO'd. Okay, now he's trying to KO some of our characters, or taking into some. No, he's trying to get our life. But we can block a little. And here we are losing. This was kind of like a sad situation. Like, we were trying to put everything into the ace. We could have also played one of the characters into life, because he had also so many characters in life, and as you see, he just had 1k more. Was kind of unlucky that he had the event in card, but in life, in hand. What I'm talking about, in hand. But yeah, we should have calculated with this. So yeah, it was just like, I'm going all in and let's see if we can get it. Otherwise, he's getting it. Doesn't matter. Yeah, kind of unlucky that we couldn't counter out of the next attacks. Also, all of them were kind of active, so we couldn't finish the board or clear the board. We didn't have any Nami, which was also kind of sad. At least KOing the own Nami or the Frankie would have been good, but then he had still 3 attacks which are going through. Yeah, kinda unlucky, but our next draw would have been also kinda cool. But anyways. This one was kinda like a close game. Kinda small lose at the end. Okay, so now we're playing against Shanks Our first hand is kind of bad because we had 2 Charlotte Lindens. It's more like a late game card or mid game. So we are searching for Luffy. Or we're searching for Luffy, right? What did we search? Yeah, we searched for Luffy. Nice. We want to go a little bit more aggressive. Okay, he's playing Sanji. But he's not attacking with it. He's maybe don't want to take the life so early. Because his effect is he can get 2k more and gain rush. But then you have to, I think you have to trash a life, right? Oh, I'm not so sure. But anyways, he's not doing it, so we will go into live with Lilith, playing out the Luffy, kinda nice. Let's see what he's doing. Here maybe. Yeah, you may add 1 at the top of your life. Against 2000, then it's kind of up to 2 rested. Ah, okay, and he also get 2 rested on, so it will be a 7k if you take the life card. So kind of strong. Okay, he's trying to beat our 5 cost. We let it go. No need. We're thinking about using the trigger, KOing the Kid and Killer. It's kind of like a rush card, which gains also extra life. Like Kid and Killer is a really strong card against us because he gains 2000 extra. And this just as a 4k with 7000 and rush. Against us if we have, I think, 3 or less life? Or 2 or less life, I'm not sure. But kind of low, so at least for us, I think it's 2 or less life. So for us as Vegapunk is like a really dangerous card and also kind of unlucky because usually Shanks is not playing Kid and Killer so often. It's kind of a rare build. Yeah, and here we did also a massive mistake. We forgot about the Nami effect. Like she needs to, for the effect to draw another card, we need to have 3 or less cards. So we should have played Bonnie out, play Nami, and then KO, and then draw a card. But we did it in the wrong way, and that's why we couldn't draw a card. And now we gave the Bonnie also a Dawn attack with Luffy, and he knew to counter out, and we didn't have any chance at this point to draw another card. So now we are big in trouble. Like, no drawing cards 2 times. He can establish now a lot of cards. He still have 4 life. We have just 1. We don't have the best card in life, especially for more like a safe game. We can use the S-Snake for stopping the ace for next turn, but at least we have this. But yeah, we need to draw some cards now. It's like really important. And he's still countering out, but now he has to take it. No way in his last 2 cards he has 2 blocker, yeah. And now we can discard 1 card. We maybe take the Lin because we need to discard 1 card for her effect, and we cannot afford to discard at the moment. Yeah, we gave up the turn. We didn't put a card in our life because we played the S-Snake, and also we have the event, which is kind of nice. We let go of Bonnie because for sure he was playing another another push character. And you see, like in this game, it would have been really cool if we would have played Buggy, because he has so many 3 or 4 cost characters. He couldn't have attack at all, it feels like. But anyways, like we are saving our Nami because we cannot save everything. Yeah, now we are in trouble. Like he playing 2 rush Zoros. And we need to play the event to save Nami again. We have 2 cards in life on the field, and he has 3. Especially the ace is kind of worrying. Trying hard to KO the Zoro, and he let it go. Okay, we're trying again, and we forgot about his leader ability. This was also a massive misplay, because he could have just made it 1k lower and counter with Otama. Really common red 2k. Unlucky. This was this game. I did some small mistakes, but they nearly cost the game at this point. or they could cost the game at this point. So I'm not so sure. Do we let the ace go? Yeah, we let it go. We cannot save it at this point. We also let the S-snake go. Yeah, now we have a big problem. Like this character I was just reading, this character cannot be KO'd one time and losing 2k attack power, but he can be KO'd by attack. So now I am just taking 9,000 just to be sure with the Nami. That he really gets KO'd. He just have one counter in hand, so even if it's a 2k he cannot counter out. And here I play the Pythagoras, and I'm not cheating out the Frankie even in live or on the field, because I was thinking like if I cheat it out in live, then it's kind of problem. He will not take my life because he knows that I will draw a card and play a card. He will take my board. But if he goes for live, then at least I have a 2k, which I can use if he can get rid of my blocker. So that's what was the idea behind this play, in hope that he cannot finish me in the next turn. Or I can block out the Nami if he's trying to get kind of like a small hit on her. Also, the thing is, he didn't play a lot of big characters, which is kind of nice for us at the moment. Yeah, and now he's playing some of his 2k characters, which is kind of funny that he uses them. Usually you just use them as 2ks, and he gives minus 2k for the blocker, so I cannot block. And also he's using I'm not sure why he's using the minus, because the no block is, I think, for the whole turn. And then he's attacking with 7k, so I cannot block out of it. And here we are so lucky. We are getting the blocker Shaka. And we are thinking about blocking, but Shaka is stronger than Nami, so we just let it go. And here we are just going into life. Like we did a big misplay again. Like Shanks is always really hard to remember that you need to give at least one Don extra because he can take 1,000, and this is really unlucky at this point. Because we are losing the chance to attack with 2 in this round. Because we cannot attack with all 3 Shakas. Actually, like here, I think we win. Yeah, we will only attack with 1 Shaka. And the problem is also we had enough done. We could have attacked both of them, but now we are in a really bad situation. If you can play something that has rush, we lost this game. Even now at this situation, it's kind of unlikely that we can win, because we have the counter with 3 in our hand, and maybe draw a card. Okay, we need to let the Shaka go. He attacked with a lot of power, and now he did a. It's not a mistake. He killed one of our characters. We can play out the Lilith, getting a 5,000 5k attacker, and also drawing a card, which is kind of nice for us. We take the Nami. Was there a Shaka even in game? Yeah, we maybe should have taken the Shaka, but I thought like KOing one of his characters would have been maybe the better idea. Yeah, I'm not so sure what I should do now. I'm making sure that I have enough enough done. I don't know why I used 3. I think at this point I was just scared that something happens, which I forgot about. And yeah, we are playing the Nami, trash 1 card. And there we did another big mistake. Like this game was a really big mistake at all. Like we did so much wrong. We skipped our counter because we misclicked on the Lin, because for sure we should have ditched the Lin. And also Now we should put another Frankie into life. Because Frankie can play out if we just have one life. And if he's also the second life, it's same. Like he also can play himself out and let us draw a card, which is really nice. This game takes kind of long, right? Oh, we're still 2k, okay. Still 2 speed. Yeah. We will just let go of our Lilith. We don't have a chance for this. He would take in our life. I don't know why. He goes so aggressive. We take it so we can play the Frankie and draw a card. Yeah, thinking about playing the Charlotte Linlin. He needs to trash a life. It's like a really interesting build he's playing. Really rush heavy build, especially with the secret rare. I never saw before somebody playing it, so it's kind of interesting. We're going 6 into 5. He reduced the cost of Nami, which is, again, like we try to not play so safe. We try to play a little risky, and he have a 2k in his hand. So he did the best thing that could happen. Like he reduced the cost of somebody else and also countered out of one of our attack. Yeah, but anyways, now we can attack for 6 and just give up for next turn. Yeah, I'm thinking about playing it out, but it will not give us any bonus in like when we play it out for the on play effect, because we have to take 2 and trash 2. Now we see he didn't draw any good card. We should have held the Edison in hand, so we can use it maybe for some effect, especially for the Linlin. Would have been cool to trash another life. But yeah, now we are already kind of winning. Like this one would have been really cool for him to draw, like getting the I think it's plus 1k for the leader. But anyways, I think yeah, this game is kind of over. We both did heavy misplays, but I could have won the game way earlier. But I think in this situation it was kind of unlucky to yeah, not to respect his leader ability and always forget about it, and also some slight mistakes here and there. It's like with Vegapunk, you always need to make sure what you're doing and how you're doing it. There are so many ifs and whens that it's kind of hard to remember everything, and you really depend really heavily on your Don and on your Don management, like how much you can use, when is the right point to play. It's like a little tricky. So, and now I have a last game. And we are playing against Green Uta. Okay, from the beginning. So we can decide, we can go first, which is always the best thing that can happen. We play out a Shaka, we mulligan our hand. What was our first hand? Let me see. Yeah, a lot of events, a lot of 2Ks, not the things that we want to see. We want to see some Shakas, some Luffys, some Atlas, especially for somebody like Uta, which is more like a slow and longer player. So we go into life with Shaka, play another one. So we have 2 blockers on field already, which is kind of nice. 2 6Ks we can use. They're playing Nami, which is kind of nice for us because we can play next round Nami and KO it. So even if he has the first search, he will definitely not get the second one. He's going 5 into life, we can block it, also really nice. Not throw too much lives away too fast. We can get the Lilith, which is really cool. Did we search the first one? No, we were drawing it. Okay. Oh. No, we do. No. We took it from the search, which is nice. We can play out the Lilith, grabbing a Luffy. Yeah, I think we're grabbing the Luffy makes sense, and then we can play the Nami. But no, maybe no need to do it first. We can just attack into life. But yeah, sometimes I'm a little off with what to do first and what to do second. So we are starting with going into his characters and then we're going into life. Okay, nice. He's using a surge. Our board is already kind of strong. We're having 4 characters, 2 blockers. He's trying to KO one, but we will not give him our Shaka. But he will KO it anyways with backlight, so it's kind of good that we countered out at least one, because otherwise we would have lost our whole board, I would guess. Yeah. So now we can play the Luffy. We are thinking about playing 2 characters this turn. The Atlas is also nice to play. So yeah, attacking this time first into life. He's letting the first one, he's letting his first life go, or his fourth life. Again, 5 into life, he will probably counter out because he took the first one. And now 7 into life, he needs to take it for sure, I think. Yeah, if he's not countering out the first one. Now we playing Luffy, KO his Katakuri, because we don't want him to KO our field. We need our characters to go into his life, and Katakuri will not help us in this situation. So we're playing out another 6k. It's really nice that he's attacking with 6. We can counter out so easy. He's playing a blocker, strong Luffy blocker, and another Katakuri. Nice, we got another Luffy, so we can KO the Katakuri again. But yeah, it's like we are so far ahead with a lot of characters, and also we have 9 done this turn. I'm thinking about if I want to use the stage, but I would just start to hit 7 into his life, and let's see what he's giving us or what he's playing. I mean, he can come back with a big character for sure. Okay, 7 into life again. He still have his blocker, so we cannot go for life this turn. Hopefully we remember this. Okay. So now we still have 2 lives. We can play Luffy, KO the Katakuri, play the stage, set up our Shaka. So we are kind of safe with at least 1 blocker. And yeah. He rests our blocker. He will go into life, and it seems like he want to KO us for sure this turn. We will take the first life. Sadly, it's a ace which we cannot play out. So this is kind of nice because the trigger of our counter is to play out a character from our life, from our trash. So now we can play out the Shaka, a blocker for us, which is really strong in this situation because it looked like he wanted to finish us. So he is using the event to do a second attack, and because we have the blocker, I don't know why he tried to attack again. He should have maybe used the searcher or something, but he knew like he don't have a blocker, I think. No, like this would have been his end anyways, so he tried again. Maybe I was missed something, but yeah, this was the last round of Vegapunk. Just like in general, you can see it's a really fast character, a really pushy character. It's kind of cool, like an early game, you can go really fast into a big board. What are the strengths? Like really fast, especially for end game players. You can push out so many early characters, especially with 6 cost, which just 1 done. They are at 7 cost and taking the maximum amount kind of counter power out of the hand of the opponent. The downside is if the opponent can keep up with your pace, you usually don't have any chance in the late game. Like you need to take so much cards from them, and especially something like green with the 8 cost blocker Kid, for example, or also other big blockers like Blackbeard, for example. They are kind of strong against you because you cannot keep up with the blocker. And also big removal is sometimes strong. It's against blue, like the event which takes 2 6 cost or less from you is really strong to take off your board. Yeah, so in general, strong leader, makes a lot of fun to play. Try it out. I mean, like, this game is more something you can find online from a lot of YouTubers. I think I took this from VV Siri. It's like one of my favorite builds. Maybe I would change the Lin because 4 is a little much for me. I was thinking maybe about taking some yellow characters, maybe some more 2Ks. Was it a 4 or 5? I think a 5. Maybe like York as a 1K option kind of to also use, but I'm not so sure. Like at the moment she's doing kind of fine as at a 3. Also nice to see her sometimes, but sometimes if you don't have the cards in hand, it's also a little useless, especially because she don't have any counter power. So yeah. But anyways, made a lot of fun to do the videos, and I had a lot of fun. Was kind of nice, and yeah, see you in the next video.